So the value is in the security, right? So blockchain in and of itself works off of cryptography, and cryptography, at its essence towards blockchain, is called cryptographic hash functions. Again, I'm not a mathematist, but
Right, all terms that probably just flew over everybody, though.
right. So you might know cryptography for some of the things that you're hearing about with like WhatsApps and Signal, right? So these are conversations that essentially are just hosted over the internet, and all it is locking in a peer or a user with another peer or user,
Okay.
and all of the data that's being shared in between is essentially built on this cryptography, which is the security, right? So the security hosts the value, right? So where people say, oh, I'm worried about my conversation or these messages or whatever the case might be, right? People move to it because of the security.
Got it.
Right?
What's the one what was the last one you sent out? WhatsApp?
Signal.
Signal.
Yeah,
It's the most
it's hot right
secure
now.
one right
Right.
now,
It's
right?
yeah, so secure that now of
Not
course
that secure. Like
there was an
I deal with
incident.
FBI agents.
Yeah.
And they cracked it, by the way, just for the viewers to know.
yeah.
But still, but it's one
Well,
more secure.
I'm sure they didn't crack it, but
they know how to get in.
yeah, they were pressed on some type of litigation, I'm sure, to have the person who was being pursued, have to open up, but the software cryptography in and of itself is you can't do it.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, but I'm just, as the thought comes, I'm going to jump in because
Yeah.
when people give a long-winded diatribe on it, especially when it goes over people's head, nobody really follows it. So
Right.
so what he's, in essence, you're saying is when he creates a currency, even though it has no
value
that you could trade for
at
it,
the moment
but it's
of
so
inception.
secure
Yep.
that no centralized government or bank can rob that value. It will remain peer to peer.
Correct.
That's the sell.
Correct, because of its open source application, because of how
When you
it.
say open source, again, dumb that down.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So open source is trying to think. There's I think it's Firefox. No, MIT, GitHub. These are some other open source applications. So these are softwares that essentially are shared, okay?
Okay.
And they have to achieve a consensus. So you can create it, okay? And then when it becomes active, right? That is relinquishing the control from the original core development. All right.
So it's controlled by the banking system or whatever it may be.
So you would have, like in Bitcoin's case, you had a core development team
Okay.
that used an open source software platform to develop the initial technology on.
Okay.
And then when they pushed it live, right, because this might be the granular part, but real quick,
But they lost control of it.
they relinquished control.
Relinquished.